When people plan a trip in the fall or winter, they rarely think of Montenegro and completely overlook the fact that, off-season, this country can offer just as much as it does during the high season, most importantly, on more favorable terms. In this video, I'll tell you all the pros and cons of living in Montenegro off-season, and who should definitely come here at this time. People go to spend the winter in warm countries to escape the cold and slush. So the first thing we need to talk about is, of course, the climate. Let me say right away, the weather changes from year to year. I'm basing this on my observations over the past couple of years. October is still a warm month. The average temperature here in October is about 20 degrees Celsius. Many people are still swimming in the sea. All the tourist attractions are still open, but in some places prices are already dropping and there are noticeably fewer tourists. There can be rainy days, but overall it's a great month. November is the best time to enjoy the vibrant colors of autumn. On the coast, many people are still wearing t-shirts, but up north you already need a light jacket or sweater. It's very beautiful, but very cold. It's important to note that from mid-November, winter tires are required on all roads except those along the coast. But at the same time, it's easy to get to Dermater, Grolo Sokolovo, and even hiking in Prokletije. If you're lucky, you might even ride the Terra zip line. December and January are true winter. Woohoo! On the coast, daytime temperatures stay around 10 degrees Celsius above zero. It snows in the north. Even on the coast, you can admire the snow-capped mountain peaks. You'll need a warm jacket to protect against wind and rain. But in the north, especially in Jablyak, a true winter fairy tale begins. Snowy pine trees, cozy cabins with fireplaces, and ski resorts. February is the rainiest month, a transitional period between winter and spring. But by late February, the Mimosa Festival in Herceg Novi marks the first feeling of spring in the air. In March and April, everything starts to bloom. The air is so clean and unpolluted, and the scent and fragrance from the flowers is just wonderful. It's a shame. Words just can't describe it. Montenegro is showing its true colors. The tourist season hasn't started yet, but you can already go hiking. This is the best time to go searching for waterfalls around the country. We actually found a waterfall, and it's awesome. It's a really beautiful time, even though it's still chilly, especially up north. By the way, strawberry season is starting at the markets. The most obvious perk of the off-season, prices drop. Renting an apartment for a month can cost from 500 euros instead of 1,000 in the summer. Car rentals and hotel stays get cheaper too. At the same time, the quality doesn't change, there's just no demand. You can rent a gorgeous apartment with a sea view for an affordable price. It's real savings, especially if you plan to stay for 2 to 3 months. The second huge advantage, no traffic jams at all. In summer, the road from Budva to Kotor can take 2 hours because of traffic. In winter, it's just 30 minutes. You can travel all over Montenegro on sunny days, which there are at least half a month of. Seeing all the famous spots without crowds of tourists is a completely different experience. Because just look at these views. Plus, there are free parking spots, and of course, it's cheaper. So, in Montenegro, you can escape not only the harsh winter, but also the tropical heat of Asia, where people often go to spend the winter. These are ideal conditions for all remote workers, not so hot that your brain melts, but not so cold that you're constantly freezing. You just work in comfort, and during your lunch break, you go out to the sea to warm up in the sun with a coffee. Now, let's talk about the downsides. And the biggest one is the lack of central heating. In most houses, especially on the coast, people use air conditioners or electric heaters to keep warm. There are two unpleasant aspects to this. The first is the electricity bill. If you heat your apartment a lot, you can easily rack up 100 to 150 euros just on utilities. The second problem is mold. Because of frequent rain and the lack of heating, moisture builds up in the corners. If you don't air up the place well, mold appears. This can be solved with products from the supermarket for about 10 euros. You just need to treat the corners regularly. But it's still unpleasant. How can you avoid these problems? Choose an apartment on the upper floors, it's warmer and drier there. Make sure the windows face south. Don't rent apartments with tinted windows. Or just live in a hotel, where the staff takes care of all this. Another downside is that many businesses and entertainment spots close during the off-season. For example, the cable car only operates until the end of October. Public transportation starts running less frequently. The Mediterranean Express, which runs along the Budva Riviera every hour in the summer, starts running less often. However, scheduled buses between major cities continue to run on time. The main attraction in Montenegro has always been nature, and it's available year-round. with a few nuances. In the cold winter months, some roads, like the scenic Dermida Ring, are completely closed until they are thoroughly cleared. Most hiking trails are impassable because of snow or rockfalls. But on the bright side, the ski resorts are open. All the old towns are always accessible. Kotor, Budva, Bar. You can walk around and explore the history without crowds of tourists. Only people who are really hardened can swim in the sea in winter. But there are indoor pools, hotels with jacuzzis, spas, and saunas. Very often, they have a view of the sea. You soak in warm water and look out at the winter coastline. It's a really special atmosphere. In spring, in March and April, after the snow melts, it's waterfall season. There are many more of them, and they're much more powerful than in the summer. It's a whole adventure in itself. Let's sum it up. Montenegro in winter isn't for those who love beach vacations and parties. The sea is cold, nightlife comes to a halt, and the country takes a breather after the seasonal rush. Montenegro in winter is for those who want to save money, work productively, and live in a peaceful and beautiful place. Let me know in the comments if you feel like spending the winter in Montenegro. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.